Okay, in this tutorial I'm just going to create a cushion with a little bit of beading on it, as you would often see on a couch or something like that. So quickly we're just going to turn on our edged faces here so we can see what's happening. And what I'm going to do is create a standard box shape here, and I'm going to give that maybe 10 segments and go for 6 and 6 for those two. 6. So just drag this out and up a bit like so. Now, last time we looked at this, we inflated it using the cloth modifier, but this time what I'm going to do is use a different modifier. This particular modifier is called the relax. So, sorry, let's go into here and find the relax modifier in here somewhere. So there it is. And you can see immediately it just kind of takes the edge off that shape. So we can increase the iterations slightly, and then the relax value so we can change the shape. Now we don't want this thing to distort too much, so let's see what we can do here. If we distort it too much, it'll just look ridiculous. That looks like an inflatable. So let's see, maybe about there for the moment, just to show a little bit of distortion from the cushion itself. Okay, so that's our start point. Now that I've got this, what I'm going to do is convert it to an editable poly, like so. And now we're back to this. So the next thing we want to do is put the beading on, and we do this by first of all selecting the vertices here. So if I just grab that, and using the control button, what I'm going to do is grab one segment on each of those 4 edges, and then I'm just going to click on the loop tool here, and you can see it just drew all of that in. So you can click on them manually, it doesn't make a difference. But what we ultimately want to do here is create a shape from this selection. So we click on create shape from selection, and it gives us an option here. So create shape, call this beading, and we can go smooth or linear. So by default it comes up smooth, and actually we'll do both. So we'll do linear first anyway so we can get a look at this, and click OK. And we'll see here in our hierarchy we have the beading. So what I'm going to do is just rename that actually to linear, just so we can see what happens. Alright, so with that in place, what we can do is just turn off the box for a moment, and this is our new shape, or at least a spline. So if we go into the rendering tab, once that's been selected, we can click on that and enable, so enable in render, enable in viewport, and we immediately get what looks like our beading. And we can change this to, well, the size just by grabbing that and moving it up and down. So just for the sake of scaling this correctly, I'm going to turn the box back on, and let's see what we need to do here. It needs to be a little bit smaller. So about there, that'll do. So there it is on there, but if you look at this, it's got some pretty harsh edges on it there, which don't look terribly good, and they certainly don't look realistic. So what we can do with this as well is apply a turbo smooth to it and have a look at how that comes out. So just grab that there, grab the modifier turbo smooth in here, and there we go. We can see that it's kind of rounded off a bit. So maybe I'll just turn off the box again. There we go. So you can see that that's rounded off a little bit. It's not too bad. But it's created another problem in the process, and that is here, where if we look at it, we get this wrong shape here. So the beading is not meeting incorrectly there. But thankfully we can deal with that quite easily. So what we can simply do is select the box itself and grab a control point here, like this one, for instance, and we can just simply move that control point into a more appropriate position. So if I just move that like here, we now have a better shape on that. So let's just grab that for a moment. Sorry, I just want to move this about. There we go. And let's see, there's the box selected. So you can see how that's working. Let's get rid of that. Okay, now that's that done. So why don't we just go around the 4 sides and do that. Next thing to do is let's see how this will wind up looking with a smooth shape being created. So as before, I'm just going to get onto this edge, grab the edges, again control button, segments over here. Hit the loop on those, so I get that. Create shape. Where is it gone? Box is selected. Create shape. And I'm going to call this one beading smooth. And click that over to smooth and click OK. Now it's going to hold the settings, but what you'll see what's happened here is the beading has actually jumped off. So that's really not ideal for us. It's actually jumped off the cushion, so that's not going to look too great. However, you can probably fix that as well using the same kind of tools we had before. So let's see, let's take off the edge faces, and oh, we have a bit of a miss over there as well. I think what would probably help the most here is additional segments, but again, just keep yourself away from over modeling the object. You know, if it's not going to show up in a render, it doesn't really matter that much. All right, thank you very much.